right. The intellectual idiots are back and down bad.
Packers are looking rough. Not a lot of positivity coming right now.
2-4. We've had the easiest schedule in football. We've just lost back-to-back games.
Raider Nation,
Raiders,
they're horrible.
the Broncos.
The worst defense in the history of the league. We can't score
We've
any
been
points in the first half ever.
we've been outscored like 60-3 in first halves in the last 3 weeks. I don't know. I have so many thoughts and so many frustrations, and so many people want to try to find some person to blame it on. But the reality is there is nobody to blame it on. There, there's so
It's just going
much.
to take a while. We're not
There's
a good team right now.
there's
We're
so
young.
much that needs to happen. Packers fans for the last 30 years have seen Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. We have a team that nobody besides David Bakhtiari is over the age of 25.
Yeah, we're the youngest team in the league.
We're the youngest team in the league. We got a first year quarterback that shows flashes of a lot of talent. And if we really want to break down the game against the Broncos, Jordan Love really didn't even play that bad. I mean, the last interception that he had was so bad and so inexcusable on so many
He
levels.
makes a lot of really bad throws too that just aren't anywhere near the guy. And he shows. I mean, maybe it's not just him, but there's absolutely no urgency ever in the first half until we're down in the second half, and then he picks it up. He has a few little couple glimpses of, being like he could be a good quarterback in like the third quarter, and then they fall apart in the fourth quarter again.
Well, and then it's like you want to start blaming Jordan Love. I do think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback. I believe in Jordan Love. I think that there's hope for Jordan Love. I think that he's going to be good. I really, really do. Keep in mind, Rodgers' first year we were 6-10. So like, I'm not saying that Jordan Love is going to be Rodgers, but I think that there's hope there. I really do. I think he shows a lot of talent. I think he can run the offense well. I think that he shows a presence, and I think people respect him. I like Jordan Love a lot. And I think that there's hope. There are going to be learning curves that Packers fans need to temper expectations for. That's going to happen. We are a team where everybody is under the age of 25. We are young. And one thing I'll say is our defense. We take a 17-16 lead. What does our defense do to respond to that? They don't get fired up. No. They let them get 50 yards on 2 plays. 2. It's like we finally get all the momentum. And then it's like our defense is just like, here you go. And then what happens before Love throws that pick? We have 3rd and 2, right? Then it's a boom. Elton Jenkins, 10-yard penalty. It's like
Killed it. Completely killed it.
And it's just there's so many things, with this team. They're so undisciplined. So many penalties. Start off so slow.
Watson's hurt again. Who knows what's going to happen with him? He'll probably go on IR.
Our team is wilting away. We have like 20 guys injured. Watson's out again. Watson isn't even. I don't know why the Packers have an incapability of getting the ball to their best players. Watson doesn't touch the ball.
Was Aaron Jones hurt again during that game? Because it was all Dylan.
He was on a snap count.
Okay, because it was all Dylan.
It's just like, what are we doing? Why doesn't Watson see the ball? Why doesn't Dobbs see the ball? Why aren't we getting the ball to Luke Musgrave more? Why doesn't Aaron Jones touch the ball? Unless we just ride A.J. Dillon, which A.J. Dillon has been playing better over the past couple of weeks. Our defense is very suspect, but they have also kept teams to a number where we should be winning. So, I don't know, Tyler.
Ultimately, it comes down to we're not a team that's just going to compete. We're going to compete in some games, and we'll show some flashes, but we're too young right now. Jordan Love just doesn't have it yet. He's shown flashes of where he has a potentially, a good future. We've got some good young guys. I'm glad we got Jaden Reed. Dobbs and Christian Watson have shown a lot of flashes. Aaron Jones will probably be gone soon. Got to get another running back because Dylan just frankly isn't that good in my opinion. But yeah, the defense really comes down to Joe Barry needs to go next year. We haven't, like you said, the guys are never fired up and it's just letting up chunk play after chunk play. Can't like the Broncos offense is horrendous and it's pretty easy for them. And we lost to the Raiders. It's absolutely disgusting. They're one of the worst offenses in the league.
Yeah, I'd say that there's a lot of learning to come, and I like Matt LaFleur. I do. I I still stand by Matt LaFleur. I still think that he's a good coach. Um, it's depressing time to be a Packer fan. It's
Yeah. Well, at least I got the Steelers right now.
yeah, you got the Steelers, but
4-2 somehow. I mean, TJ Watt literally just can do everything. He had a pick last week. Steelers
TJ
offense.
Watt basically he's your defense and your offense at this point.
Yeah, he is. I mean, honestly, the Steelers offense, by no means in any way are they good, but they showed a lot of promise last week. Najee Harris finally started running the ball with some power
And
and some
authority.
authority. Jalen Warren is really, I like him a lot. George Pickens having Deontay back, it was really awesome having them two, together. They both had a really good game. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett necessarily, but who knows? Maybe he'll turn it around. They turned it around the second half of last year when TJ Watt came back. Their offense also fired up. To be starting at 4-2, they do not feel like a 4-2 team. They're finding a way to win. Mike Tomlin always does it.
Dude, this
Everyone,
is Steelers football. They're hard
they
nosed.
always find a way to win. Mike Tomlin.
Dude, they're the opposite of the Packers. The Packers and Steelers. You are a fan of two of the same teams right now. The Packers and the Steelers play the same brand of football. They play sloppy, ugly football. But the only thing difference is they always play in close games too. Both of those teams.
Yes.
The Steelers find ways to win. The Packers find ways to lose.
I
That's
will
the only
say
difference right now.
it is the amount of penalties the Steelers had of taunting was ridiculous. George Pickens got a taunting, and then like a couple plays later, Deontay started shushing one of the guys, and he got a taunting penalty. So they almost blew it.
I will say, like this year is gonna have. I'm just gonna have to because I got really frustrated last night. I'm just gonna have to switch up my aura, my vibe of watching the Packers this year. I just have to switch it all up. I have to just be like, let's just watch some football.
Yeah,
I
let's
might
just
just turn
enjoy
on the
our
Arizona
fantasy,
Packers game.
enjoy our fantasy teams. Try to win that.
Yeah,
Maybe
those are
pick another team
my
to
kids
like.
right now
Cheer
in
for the
fantasy.
Dolphins.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. It's gonna be a grind, but we'll do it. But hey, how about Lamar Jackson this week, dude? Oh my God. I made a comment to you when I just came back from Utah. I visited my best friend out in Utah for the week last week.
Hell yeah!
It was awesome. It was very, very fun. Utah is beautiful.
Man's gonna be moving out here in 2 years.
Potentially. Um, but I was actually trashing Lamar Jackson to my good buddy Tyler.
You're always a Lamar hater. Like Lamar just gets it done. He wins. His accuracy has gotten off the charts. He has elite elusiveness and athleticism. He makes plays. I mean, he wills his team to victories. He puts his team on his back.
What I will say is I was kind of looking around. I was doing a couple other things on Sunday. I was actually golfing with my uncle in the morning on Sunday. So, but we started late because there was a frost delay. So all of a sudden, I look back and I'm starting to look at the scores like on the 18th hole, and I see the Lions are down 35-6. I was like, what?
They absolutely fisted them.
Oh, did the Ravens beat them bad? It's shocking. You don't see Dan Campbell teams losing that bad.
No, I mean, I'm sure they did 1,000 push-ups after the game.
Dan Campbell was probably beating guys senselessly in the locker room after that game. I don't know. Dan Campbell probably put on shoulder pads and a helmet and was doing Oklahoma drills in the locker room because that was a beatdown. The Ravens showed me a lot this week. That was a huge proving.
They showed me that they're a team that can dominate anyone.
I was saying that I think the Lions are a Super Bowl dark horse. And it just kind of showed me that they got a ways to go there. The Lions
Yeah.
still have a ways to go. Like that was you can't have that. If you're a Super Bowl contender, you can't be getting the brakes beat off you like that against the a team that is good but has holes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The Ravens are good, but they're not the
Bef-
Chiefs.
Before that game, they were the number one rush defense, and Gus the Bus Edwards tore him up, and he's a backup
Plus
running back.
the bus, Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar was absolutely torching them left and right. They were getting 10 yards of play, it felt like, in the first half.
It was unbelievable. I didn't get to watch the game, but when I saw that score, I was like, there is no way that's happening right now. Like that is
Yeah.
insane.
But getting to your point, I think you wanted to talk a little bit about potential MVP candidates. And after this week, we definitely have to say that Lamar has a solid chance to be continuing to push for an MVP type season. Obviously with Tua not performing very well last week or the week before, uh, you know, I don't really know who the favorite is right now. Josh Allen, he certainly is inconsistent as hell. They rely too much on him, and he tries to do too much. He tries to become Superman. It's not it. Mahomes is off to his statistically worst season ever as a starter. I mean, he'll be fine though. So I really don't know what to say for MVP right now, other than Lamar is ascending,
Jordan Love.
and Tua still could win. Tua's still on pace, for one
Jordan
of the
Love.
greatest. Who?
Jordan Love.
No, definitely not.
Kenny Pickett.
Or Tyson Bagent. What about Tyson
TJ
Bagent?
Watt. TJ Watt is basically out there by himself for the Pittsburgh Steelers, willing him to a 4-2 record. He should win MVP. He should win DPOY and MVP. That's all I gotta say. TJ Watt. But it's actually ironic because we were talking about the Raiders or the Raiders. I was talking trash about Lamar Jackson and I was praising Josh Allen when I was with you. So it's ironic that Lamar Jackson goes off and the Bills have an inexcusable, disgusting,
Patriots.
pathetic, ridiculous loss to the Patriots.
Patriots are disgustingly terrible.
The Patriots are so bad. If I'm a Bills fan, I think you have to push the panic button. How? How do you lose to the Patriots?
McDermott, like they need to figure out a way to not just completely rely on Josh Allen to be superhero every time. It's just not working out for them.
Fuck no, it's not working out for them. Like that, it's that loss is so bad on so many levels. I mean, like you're looking at a team that's gotten like outscored. It wasn't it like fucking like 87 to just 3 games. Like like how do the Bills go out there? Did they play in New England? I think they did, right?
Yeah, they lost to Mac Jones.
Yeah, they played in New England though, right? It was on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
So
so.
you just lost to a team that's got no offense or defense, and
So
you
many other defensive players are hurt. The Patriots is
and
what.
you call yourself a Super Bowl contender? I think you're right, Tyler. I think the Bills got some serious problems. Like I think that I don't know if firing McDermott is the answer.
I think it is. They've hit their limit. They've hit their ceiling of what McDermott can bring them to. He's not an offensive minded coach. We see that all the time. All these offensive minded coaches are absolutely killing it and succeeding so much in the NFL. Like within these last couple of years, McDaniel with the Dolphins showing what an offensive genius can do to a team and make them look like a powerhouse. Obviously, it didn't work well last night against the Eagles. I think it was an outlier, bit of a performance. Eagles defense really just throttled them.
Hey,
You got Shanahan in San Francisco, a super offensive guru, and the 49ers, obviously, I think you could argue they're the best team in the league right now. I think really it comes down to McDermott just they have no offensive creativity there right now with Brian Dable gone, and it's showing.
yeah, I mean, you actually kind of bring up an interesting topic that I actually kind of wanted to touch on too. Another team that I feel like is close but not there yet. I think is the Dolphins. I mean,
Yeah, they showed some real
if you
holes
think about
last
the
night.
Dolphins, like I think that there's a gap between the Dolphins and like those top tier teams, like the Niners and the Eagles. I
Yep.
I see that there's a gap. Like the Chiefs, Niners, and Eagles are here, and then you have they're right here, and then you got the Bills and the Dolphins right here. Like there's just a gap. Like the Dolphins can't like they played
They play easy teams. They played so many easy teams, and all the situations favor them. Nice weather, no adversity, but they finally faced a tough grit team in Philly where like the conditions didn't favor them, and it just didn't work. Like they're very much need the warm weather. They need everything to go right. They need to be winning. They're not comfortable coming from behind, like for when they're behind by a lot of points. I do believe that after seeing last night's game.
I agree too, and I think that's another thing that like with the Dolphins again they're going to be fine. But I really think that they got to take these games like to heart. I know it's early in the season, but you got to wear these type of games and remember them. Like this game against the Eagles, like they had another pretty bad game. I forgot who they play. They lost earlier. Who they lose to earlier this year? I forget.
Who?
The Dolphins.
Let me check. I believe they lost to the Bills. Yeah, they lost to the Bills.
Okay, the Bills. Right. So the two good teams that they played this year, they lost to. I like there has to be you have to get that big win. You winning by 70, putting up 70 points against the Patriots, like that's great. But like that's not an impressive. I mean, it's impressive to score 70 points. Don't get me wrong, but that's not like a stepping stone impressive win. Like oh wow, we beat the brakes off of a terrible team. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing there that's like oh boy, like look at the Dolphins, like they're unbelievable. You know what I mean? So it's like there's definitely still a gap between the Dolphins and the Bills and those like higher end upper echelon teams still where there's like okay, like there's some work that needs to be done there. And I don't really know what that is. Like I don't know if that's Tua. I don't know if that's.
It's just their play style. I feel like, and their defense hasn't been their strength so far. But right now, going off of that point, I think there's a few Super Bowl contenders: Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs. Would you say?
Yeah.
Top three.
I would say those are the top three. I'd say probably my number one right now would probably be the Eagles. But
yeah, I cannot believe I had the Bengals in it as my Super Bowl winner before the season started. I mean,
didn't they? They didn't play this week, did they?
No.
The Bengals are getting hot though. Haven't they won a couple in a row?
Yeah, they are. I still have Burrow's calf thing, and how much he's getting sacked really worries me. I think they're setting him up for failure right now with how they're treating him. Makes me nervous. They have. That being said, though, they definitely have shown improvements.
Dude, it's so funny that this Burrow situation has been like this since like day one that he's been there. He hasn't had an offensive line since day one.
Well, they really wanted him to draft an offensive lineman, but they took Chase, and it worked.
Yeah, that's tough. But let's wind it down today. Obviously, first episode back. It was another fun week of football. We've taken some time off. We've just been very, very busy.
A lot of life busyness.
A lot of busyness, but we're excited to be back. We're going to try to be consistent as possible. We got shout out to Nick. He is going to be doing all of our editing and uploading and all that stuff going forward, which is going to be a massive help for us. So Nick is a part of the squad now, and we're excited about it. So anyway, that kind of wraps things up for today. Tough day for the Packers. We're going to have to bounce back. We're going to have to brace for a long.
Great day for the Steelers.
And what a time out in Utah. So thank you, Tyler, for showing me a great time out there. It was a blast.
Of course.
But anyway, we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and tune into our content. We love you all. Have a good one.
Cheers.